saying?
Alright guys, so just came out of the theater, just came out of seeing Mufasa, the Lion King. This is the prequel to the Lion King, but the 2019 version, about the story of Mufasa and Scar and, you know, how everything came to be. And I gotta say, this movie was a masterpiece. It's my favorite film of the year. I'm kidding, by the way, when I say that. No, this movie was bad. This was a bad movie. Now, let me just start with some positives. Visually, incredible. Like, no doubt. The movie's visually stunning. The visual effects, all that is stunning to look at. However, and the voice performances are also really, really good. The voice performances of Aaron Pierre as Mufasa, Kelvin Harris Jr. as a young Scar. Aaron Pierre kind of channels his inner James Earl Jones, and you have Kelvin Harris Jr., who is not necessarily doing his version of like Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's more so doing his version of Jeremy Irons' iteration of Scar. But that being said, other than the voice performances, which are great, and the VFX, the special effects, which are phenomenal, this is a movie that does not know exactly what it wanted to be. This movie is a mess from a storytelling perspective. It's all over the place. As a prequel, I felt like it was just a hey, let's just show you how this happened. Let's get into, oh, you want to know how Scar got his name and the scar on his face? Well, here's how. And oh, you want to know how Zazu came to be? Well, this is how they met Zazu. This is how Rafiki got his stick. All this other stuff, and it didn't feel like natural. It didn't feel like a natural progression of the story. Instead, it felt forced. And I will say this: Transformers 1 did this prequel thing better. Because Transformers 1 wasn't just trying to say, well, this is how this came to be, this is how this came to be. It told a good story within that element, and then naturally, all that stuff came naturally to the story. How did Megatron and Optimus become enemies? And it was a natural progression. It was, you saw that progression, whereas this just felt like a movie where it was like, hey, let's tell you how this and this happened. And by the way, Timon and Pumbaa, the two most unfun... I've never been more annoyed in a movie than watching Timon and Pumbaa throughout they're running commentary throughout the film while Rafiki's telling the story of Mufasa to Simba's daughter, and I just thought they fell out of place. Like I said, the best way I can describe this movie is that it is a mess from start to finish. But yeah, I was oh, and the music, I should also say this, the music is very similar of how I felt about the music in Moana 2, where it just didn't feel like Lion King music. It just felt like Lin-Manuel Miranda music, which I love Lin-Manuel Miranda's music. Encanto, Moana, you know, Hamilton, I love his music. But I wonder how I would have felt if they had just swapped the two singers. Like get the people who wrote the songs for Moana 2 and put them with Mufasa the Lion King, and then bring Lin-Manuel Miranda back to do the songs for Moana 2. And I'm wondering how that would have ended up, if that would have made the songs better, because the songs aren't bad. They're really catchy songs. They just don't feel like Lion King music. There's not one song in this movie that rivals Circle of Life or Hakuna Matata or I Just Can't Wait to Be King. There's no song in this movie that rivals that. And yeah, what can I say? As somebody who actually likes the 2019 remake and actually defends it, I can't defend this one. Like, I really can't. I just think the movie's messy, and I appreciate them trying to tell a different story this time around and not doing a shot-for-shot remake of Lion King 2. I appreciate them doing that, but I just didn't feel like it worked at all. So, but that is my reaction to Mufasa. Now, let's go and see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Alright guys, so just literally came out of the theater, just came out of seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This is the third film in the Sonic trilogy. I cannot believe I'm saying those words out loud. I just can't believe there's an actual Sonic trilogy. We now have a Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy. That's insane. It's crazy. So, really liked the first film. Really loved the second film. And then I thought the Knuckles series was actually pretty enjoyable. So I was actually very excited going into this. The introduction of Shadow, Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow. That's a masterpiece. That's like Citizen Kane level masterpiece right there. No, it's not that good. But I was very excited going into this movie, and it was okay. No, I'm kidding. Guys, this movie was awesome. It was awesome. I will say this right now, and I will take this to my grave. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the best video game movie ever made, period. I will say that, and I will not be ashamed that I said that. But it is the best video game movie ever made. This movie worked on almost every level. The story was great. It's more emotional. It's much darker than the previous two films. Yes, does the film have its moments where it's appealing to? I literally just got out of the theater. But no, does the movie have moments where it's appealing to kids? Yeah, but with it being a movie based on Sonic the Hedgehog, which is an IP that is mostly geared for kids, even though, I mean, I grew up playing the games and I love Sonic, so yeah, there's obviously moments in here that are going to be good for the kids, by the way, Jim Carrey in this movie, he's always been a highlight of these movies, but he really stands out here. Like, the stuff that he's doing, not just as the Robotnik that we know, but as the I can't remember what they call him, and I'm just gonna call him Old Man Robotnik. Him as Old Man Robotnik is literally it's great. Like, it's so funny. But easily my favorite aspect about this movie, and this was the one that I'm not gonna lie, despite the fact that I was most excited for it, I also was very nervous about it. My favorite part about this movie was Shadow, easily. Shadow is my favorite character from the games, so I was very excited to see him in this movie, and I was very nervous as well, just because there's a million ways that this that you can go wrong with the character. It's very, very tricky to it's very tricky to bring this character to life, and that's even more so than like Knuckles and Tails and all these other characters that those two characters that they brought in the second film. Introducing those two is much easier to do than bringing in Shadow. But man, the way they did it, and the story that they tell, if you are a fan of the games and you know Shadow's backstory, kind of the direction it goes. I really love this movie, guys. And by the way, there are 2 post-credit scenes, so So make sure you guys stick around because there are 2 post-credit scenes after, at the end of the film. So, but that will do it for this Out of the Theater reaction, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.